A reminder, the news doesn't end here. Here's coming up at 7 o'clock on WCNC.
Local officials say the Operation Charlotte's Web is now over, but feds say no, it's not. So who's right, who's wrong? We'll have that story coming up.
Today, more high school students expected to join walkouts in support of their fellow classmates.
There was a classroom full of 30 students around there, and yesterday there was around 5 kids who showed up.
The impact it's making, as more than 80,000 absences were recorded in just 3 days.
A defense attorney now challenging federal assault charges against a Charlotte woman arrested during a protest. Why he says video evidence goes completely against the government claims.
And the grocery stores will be busy as you prepare for your Thanksgiving meal.
We'll tell you how AI could save you time and money. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
We're still following this. Remember, this is a road that's blocked because of a serious crash. It's going to be on Still Creek Road, impacting both directions between Sam Neely Road and Westinghouse Commons Drive. Again, here's a picture that we got in of that specific incident. It is reported as an injury incident. We'll be following that for you on WCNC. Plus, that Sharon Amity Road crash that we've also been talking about just got cleared, but another one inbound on Independence at 244 just popped up. Chris.
Okay, it's the last time for a while I'm going to have a 7-day like this where we have a spike near 80, either side of 70 degrees, and then we're in the upper 50s on Thanksgiving after that. What happened? No! The lower 50s, even some freezing temperatures, so enjoy the warmth while we have it.
Ooh, will do.
All right. Join us over at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus, and have a great weekend, everybody. Streaming live right now at 7 a.m. on a Friday here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We have made it to Friday, folks, and hopefully you're feeling good. We're going to get to check on our forecast on this Friday from meteorologist Chris Mulcahy. Admittedly, you said not the best start to Friday.
But it feels great. Focusing in on how you feel, because sometimes it's more about the inner feeling. Because as you walk outside, temperatures are very mild. And I also want to put this in perspective. Temperatures right now are ranging all over the place in the 50s. We are going to have some highs that don't even reach the mark that we're at right now this time in the morning, so enjoy it. However, over the next 3 hours or so, 2 to 3 hours realistically, we're going to have either drizzle, mist, or fog out and about. So about 1.25 miles around Hickory is the visibility, half mile for you in Morganton. It has now been well over an hour of a 1/4 mile visibility here in Rock Hill. So this is the worst visibility. So heading down I-77, that's going to be an issue. Majestic will have more on traffic problems. That it was only a brief rain that we had this morning, but it's also led to a bunch of issues because it was just enough to dampen the roads. Current temperatures right now, 58 degrees. That's amazing. 57 right around Hickory, 54 right around the Boone area. Going to have these low-hanging clouds for quite some time. High temperatures right around 73 degrees. I actually had to tick this back a little bit. We're going to have a warm front that's going to drive in some warmer temperatures, but I'm not really seeing a lot of sunshine for today. So don't be disappointed that it's mainly going to be more of a cloudier day. At times, I think the best hope I have for you is maybe you have a glimmer of a brighter overcast sky, or maybe some breaks in the clouds that eventually could lead to some spots of blue. High temperatures in the lower 70s mainly, and then through the overnight, we are expecting a very mild one. That front is now actively passing. So this warm front's going to drag in some of that warmer air. We are dealing with some breaks in the action right down here, so I'm not saying it's not going to be completely overcast, just expect more clouds. One thing that's also interesting and a unique feature of this system, tomorrow morning, we have a chance for thunderstorms. That's what this blue shading is representing by the Storm Prediction Center. And that's really any time between about midnight and about 8 o'clock looks to be the norm. So don't be surprised if we have a quick downpour, maybe even woken by that rumble of thunder. And eventually these clouds get out of here and we should have a much sunnier afternoon. So there it is. Let's get right to our 7-day forecast. Enjoy the warmth while we have it. So I mentioned sunshine comes out for your Saturday. Upper 70s is where we're going to be. That's going to be fantastic. That's a record day. Then we have 70 degrees on Sunday, either side of 70 for our highs, with more of the 40s taking over Monday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday is the transition day. At that point, you start off with a little bit of rain, and then that front is going to cool us back down to where we should be. A typical Thanksgiving's 59. We're right at 58. And the back end of that, feeling more like January. So coming up, I'm going to talk about that round of rain, if it's going to affect any travel plans before Thanksgiving. But first, let's talk about the travel now with Majestic.
All right, if you're heading out the door anytime soon for your Friday morning, it's been pretty quiet for the most part. This is I-77 here at York County. So if you're in South Carolina, I'm not seeing any big concerns there. However, in North Carolina, we do have a few things to let you know about. I want to start with still this big picture perspective, all those little pockets of oranges. That's where we do have some dense fog. That does include areas like Rock Hill. So if you are coming inbound on I-77, just be ready for changing conditions, because not everyone is seeing the fog, but some areas definitely will be. And then we're continuing to follow this purple. Whenever you see purple on my map, that means that the road is blocked right now. It's blocked because of a serious crash on Steel Creek Road, both ways from Sam Neely Road and Westinghouse Commons Drive. Again, here's a picture that we got into our area or to our inbox, and you can see a couple of police officers there on scene. Again, this is reported as an injury incident, and our photographer is heading here. Once he gets there, we'll pull up a live camera letting you know any new information that we do have on this. Guys.
Majestic, thanks this morning. We're still working to pin down what exactly is next for Border Patrol here in Charlotte. After 6 days of operations, we are getting some conflicting reports about whether or not the raids are over.
WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane is live this morning along Albemarle Road in East Charlotte. And Richard, we know some leaders say it is time, the time is up for these federal agents. Others say they aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Lisa. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ben. Good Friday morning, everyone. It all depends on who you ask. Now, some say the operation is over, while others counter saying no, not yet. And that has caused communities like here in East Charlotte to be in limbo, so to speak. And as we can tell you, at least one business that serves a lot of immigrants here has opened its doors. It said it's been this way all week. Some businesses staying closed, others opening up. Now, there are conflicting reports are still swirling about the status of that major immigration enforcement surge. Local authorities, including our sheriff, announced that the federal operations dubbed Charlotte's Web had ended. Now, the sheriff also says federal officials informed his office that the mission was over and that no more agents from U.S. Customs and Border Patrol Protection would be operating in the area. But the Department of Homeland Security says that the operation is not over and added it is not ending anytime soon. Now, since it began just days ago, the enforcement campaign has led to more than 370 arrests in the Charlotte region. Local officials say this uncertainty is causing anxiousness among community members, especially immigrant families, and that schools and businesses are definitely feeling the ripple effect.
This is not done. They may have left Charlotte, they still in North Carolina. If they are not in North Carolina, they still in our country. We cannot be this type of society. What makes us different than any country that we run away from?
And again, throughout the day, we'll continue to monitor the situation to see how many other businesses open. We'll go to some of the area schools in the area and see what they say. And of course, we'll give you all of that right in your hand on our mobile app. We're right here in East Charlotte. This is Richard Devane. Guys, we'll send it to you.
Richard, thank you. 7:06 right now on WCNC Plus. A man accused of colliding into vehicles during a Border Patrol operation is now out on bond. Documents say Miguel Angel Garcia Martinez used a white Dodge Sprinter van to hit those vehicles during an operation in University City. Protesters joined his family in Uptown yesterday ahead of his release, urging that the allegations are false and that he is an American citizen who was simply following the law.
In every video that we have, you can see him maneuvering around officers, keeping his distance from officers.
His family shared that the support that they've received in the last few days is a small bit of relief in what has been a chaotic week. Later this morning, more walkouts are expected at schools across CMS, protesting this week's patrol operations. Independence, Myers Park, Sun Valley, and West Meck all have walkouts planned for today. Yesterday, we spoke with students at South Meck during their walkout. They said the impact on their campus can't be ignored.
We have a very large immigrant population here at South Mecklenburg High School. We had a lot of classrooms. My sister, she told me there was a classroom full of 30 students around there, and yesterday there was around 5 kids who showed up. So there was a very dramatic difference.
District-wide, thousands of students have been missing class each day. According to the latest numbers we received from CMS, more than 83,000 absences were recorded between Monday and Wednesday.
Our coverage of Border Patrol's Operation Charlotte's Web continues. We'll keep a close eye on the latest developments right here on WCNC Plus, providing coverage 24/7. After more than 3 decades in uniform, Police Chief Johnny Jennings will retire at the beginning of the new year, closing out a 33-year career in Charlotte. Over the course of his career, Jennings has been through some of the city's biggest public safety challenges, from protests and policy reform to tackling rising violent crime. He says the decision to retire wasn't sudden.
Nothing was more challenging than April 29th of 2024 when we lost 4 brave officers that were out doing their job. But I couldn't be more proud of our agency and the response. We continued to keep our community safe during the toughest time in law enforcement history in North Carolina.
Despite the difficult times through his career, Jennings says he wants his legacy to be about more than conflict, pointing to his push for community collaboration, his emphasis on reducing crime, and his care for officer morale. His retirement takes effect January 1st, 2026.
The man accused of killing a teenager will stay behind bars. Tracoby Meeks was denied bond. Back in May, police say he and another person were chasing 17-year-old Navia Carter along North Graham Street. They shot into her car, killing her. Navia's family says despite the progress, the pain still remains.
It's been the hardest 5.5 months that I've had to deal with this. Even though an arrest has been made, it still doesn't bring my daughter back.
Prosecutors say the investigation is ongoing. They are still working to identify additional shooters and witnesses.
Approaching 7:10 now, with Thanksgiving around the corner, the North Carolina Fire Marshal is urging families to stay safe in the kitchen. Data shows there are 3 times as many cooking fires on Thanksgiving than on an average day of the year. To avoid accidents, the state fire marshal suggests staying in the kitchen while you're frying, grilling, or broiling your dinner. Keep flammable items away from stovetops, and make sure that you turn those pot handles inward to prevent spills or burns. And never use a turkey fryer in enclosed spaces, including your garage. Also, make sure that you have a small lid nearby to smother any grease fires, and never use water on them.
7:10 coming up. Growing concern on Capitol Hill. Why some congressional Democrats are fearing for their safety after President Trump's latest claims.
A bright 11-year-old with an infectious smile who disappeared after getting off her school bus in Cornelius in 2022.
From November the 22nd to December the 15th, 23 days went by where he didn't know the location of Madeline Coach Car.
Conflicting stories from her mother and stepfather, a boarded-up bedroom, fires in the backyard of her home, secret recordings, and trips out of state.
Bottom line is she's a suspect in the disappearance of her own daughter.
Everyone still asking, where is Madalena?
Our goal is to find Madalena, and we're not going to stop until we do.
The Search for Madalena, streaming on WCNC+. Download on your TV and watch for free.
This morning, some congressional Democrats say they fear for their safety after President Trump accused them of sedition and suggested they could face execution. This all follows a video the lawmakers posted urging military members not to follow what they call illegal orders.
NBC's Alice Barr reports that we may hear from the president directly today as he meets with New York's mayor-elect, a leader he's repeatedly called a communist.
This morning, outrage after President Trump suggested 6 Democratic lawmakers could face execution for posting this video urging members of the military to disobey what they called illegal orders.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
The lawmakers, all veterans of the military or intelligence community, accusing the Trump administration of
pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens.
President Trump responding, quote, seditious behavior from traitors, lock them up, and seditious behavior punishable by death. He later reposted a comment from someone writing, hang them, George Washington would. By Thursday evening, one Democrat in the video, Senator Alyssa Slotkin, said she'd received close to 1,000 new threats and now has 24/7 security.
I'm worried about the safety of my staff, of my family, and obviously for myself.
Senator Mark Kelly, whose wife was nearly assassinated in 2011, voiced the same concerns while defending the lawmaker's message.
There is nothing more American than standing up for the Constitution. That's what we were doing.
Does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. The White House saying the president has given no illegal orders and calling the Democrats' message dangerous.
The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos.
Growing fallout in a high-stakes war of words. We may hear directly from President Trump on this today as he hosts the mayor-elect of New York City at the White House. The president has frequently denounced the Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani, calling him a communist. Mamdani said he asked for the meeting to focus on affordability. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The U.S. Labor Department's delayed September jobs report is now out. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U.S. economy added about 119,000 jobs that month. That was better than expected. Additionally, the average hourly earnings increased 0.2% for the month and 3.8% from a year ago. The report also shows that unemployment edged higher to 4.4%. That's the highest it's been since October of 2021.
Hundreds of U.S. airport workers are getting a bonus just in time for the holidays following the historic government shutdown. More than 750 air traffic controllers and technicians will get a $10,000 bonus thanks to the FAA and the U.S. Department of Transportation. The money will be given to employees that never missed a day of work during the shutdown. The recognition follows President Donald Trump's directive to honor air traffic personnel. Those getting it will be notified during Thanksgiving week and will be receiving payment in early December. The world's most popular chatbot is moving into classrooms with a new version for educators. OpenAI is offering ChatGPT for teachers, free to verified K-12 teachers through June 2027. After that, it says it'll keep pricing as affordable as possible. The tool gives teachers a secure workspace to adapt lessons, save prep time, and collaborate with peers. OpenAI says it will enhance what many teachers already use, noting 3 in 5 teachers already use AI tools.
McDonald's going full Grinch mode this holiday season, and wait until you hear what they're adding to their fries. I mean, admittedly, he says, he being Chris, that this is not the most picturesque start to your Friday. But I mean, this is a live look of Uptown, folks.
It's there.
It really is there.
I think actually the lower left, that little black dot, I think that's the corner of the View building uptown.
Probably so, yeah.
And that is literally all you can see.
That's it.
Chris.
That's it. Chris, come on.
Yeah, seeing's believing, right? We're going to eventually break those clouds out a little bit, and then you might see a spot of blue, but all in all, we are holding on to a cloudier sky. But I want to jump ahead because I had mentioned 79 degrees is where we're going to be tomorrow, and then after that, we get steadily cooler. The forecast for next Thursday, which is a big day to be thankful, Thanksgiving. And over the last 5 years, which by the way, our average is 59, so it's going to be an average Thanksgiving. Well, we were 68 last Turkey Day, and then we're right around where we're going to be this year in 2023, but it's been all over the place. We actually were in the lower 70s back in 2020. That was a year to remember, to say the least. And your Thanksgiving weekend, if you're already looking ahead, it's going to be significantly colder after Thanksgiving. So we're talking about the 70s today, even under an overcast sky for a majority of it. Meanwhile, we have sunshine heading into your holiday weekend, and highs are only going to be in the lower 50s. The reason why this is so jarring is that here in Charlotte, our average high during the month of January, I'm going to say it again, January, is 52 degrees. So yeah, it feels more like January for the last weekend of November. November can't get it right. It's all over the place. As far as your travel circle goes, I like to show this around the holiday time when we're doing a lot of travel. This is a 300-mile radius circle where that's the typical distance that most people are traveling or within this circle during the holidays. The best chance for rain is primarily going to be during your Tuesday afternoon west of Charlotte, but during the evening and overnight for areas around Charlotte and off towards the east. Once you get to Wednesday afternoon, we're starting to clear out some of the clouds, and it actually should be a decently sunny Thanksgiving. As far as any other patterns that could roll through, yesterday we were seeing an indication of one Friday heading to Saturday. Right now we got the all clear. So all is well going forward, but in the near term, we definitely have to take advantage of those warmer temperatures while we have them. And I'll have your full forecast, planning out the rain that we have heading into the weekend coming up here shortly. But first, let's see how the roads are with Majestic.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Let's take a look all around, see what we're working with on our Friday morning commute. Still not seeing anything too majorly concerning. You can see some of those lower numbers right there, just indicating that fog may be an issue for some of you this morning. Besides some of that drizzle out there, we're seeing pockets of dense fog right around Rock Hill. So if you're heading on I-77 out towards that area, just make sure you're prepared for that. Otherwise, our photographer did just get on scene to this crash that we've been talking about for the last 30 minutes or so. He said it's basically clearing out, so it's no longer a big concern. Remember, this is the picture that we got not too long ago, Steel Creek Road, just north of Westinghouse Boulevard. So no longer a big problem, but that was reported as an injury incident. Then I want to take you out to Independence. Do you take Independence, especially inbound? We know how it goes this time of the day. Right now, one lane is blocked because of a crash. It's on Independence and it's on exit 244. Actually, it's southbound lane, so not inbound. It's actually going to be outbound lanes with this crash. We'll have another update on everything else I'm looking at all coming up here soon.
7:23 right now. McDonald's celebrating the holiday season with a Grinch-themed meal.
The new holiday meal features dill pickle Grinch salt McShaker fries. It's a mouthful, right?
Okay.
The McShaker bag is a throwback item from the fast food chain's 90s menu. You can use the bag to sprinkle dill pickle seasoning on your so-called Grinch fries. The meal is available December 2nd at participating locations. You keep saying, okay, like you want to try this?
Well, I mean, I'm intrigued that it's like a Grinch-themed thing, and I like the shaker fries aspect of it. That sounds fun.
Right. Yeah. I think there could be many worse things than dill to put on a French fry.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't think it'll be amazing, but I don't think it'll be like terrible.
Agreed.
You like pickles?
Yeah. Not obsessed, but they're fine.
Gotcha.
Same.
And we were talking earlier that there's like a pickle movement, that a lot of things are being made from pickles, including pickle soap. So this is the least of our worries.
Did you say it was a bath bomb you saw?
There was a pickle bath bomb. Who wants to smell like pickles?
We don't need
Still
that.
stuck on this.
We don't
That's
need that.
disrespectful.
That could be a fun little stocking stuffer to put in somebody's stocking as a joke.
Oh, that's really fun, yeah.
Don't get that from me. All right. The holiday season is here. That means the magical toy drive is back. You can get some great gifts to help some really deserving families. For the 25th year, WCNC Charlotte teaming up with the Salvation Army to help put gifts under the tree for local families. So
But
many
don't
of you
get them pickle soap.
do not. No one wants that. You heard it here. Hot take, I don't think. Nobody wants that. Bring a new unwrapped toy to any Charlotte area Belk location between now and December 14th. You want to find out another way to donate? All you have to do, scan that QR code right there on the right side of your screen.
All right, folks, we're going to keep it here as we take another live look over Uptown. Okay, you can start.
Things are improving.
Make a little bit. There on the left of the Trademark building, on the bottom right, there, Truist Field, sort of. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good morning, everybody. Who's ready for the weekend? This isn't really motivating, is it? Well, if you go 1,500 feet up in the atmosphere, you can see a little bit of blue up here. But yeah, we're going to be overcast for most of the day today, and you might have some glimmer of hope, some brighter spots throughout the afternoon. High temperatures getting mainly into the lower 70s, slightly warmer than yesterday. Evening out forecast, very mild. Temperatures only fall to the upper 60s. That's incredible, and that's going to lead to a very mild Saturday. Note, there's a chance for rain overnight, even a thunderstorm to begin your Saturday. Clear out with some sunshine for the afternoon. Slightest isolated storm chance during the middle of the day, but highs near 80. After that, eventually we cool down by Turkey Day. Highs only in the upper 50s. Let's get right over to Majestic for your morning commute.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Let's get to it. I want to show you I-85 here at Statesville Ave, where conditions are flowing just fine for your Friday morning commute. We're not seeing anything majorly concerning. Do want to let you know about a few things that I'm watching for you this morning. We have a handful of ongoing crashes. We also have pockets of dense fog from areas like Rock Hill up towards Lincolnton, even back towards Concord. So watch for that when it comes to your morning commute. Still following a crash here on Independence. It's going to be southbound lanes at exit 244. Be careful as you're heading out the door, and we'll see you over on WCNC Plus.
We're streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. This morning, a new video of an arrest by federal immigration agents. The incident happened Sunday morning. 2 people were arrested, one of them 44-year-old Heather Morrow, who was later charged with felony assault for resisting or impeding a federal officer.
Now her lawyer is challenging those charges. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards joins us in the studio this morning to break down that arrest and what both sides are saying. Destiny.
Morrow's defense attorney says federal officials have mischaracterized her arrest, and he argues the new video directly contradicts the government's account. Morrow was one of 2 people arrested Sunday outside a Homeland Security office in Charlotte as immigration operations intensified across the region. Federal officials claim she grabbed a Border Patrol agent's shoulders and tried to jump on his back. But her attorney, Javier Dejanon, says this new bystander video undercuts that, arguing Morrow never left the ground or put her hands on any officer before she was taken down.
It's clear that Ms. Morrow did not put her hands on the agent's shoulders, did not even leave the ground, and it was a matter of milliseconds before CBP agents tackled her very, very quickly. So we are concerned that even the federal government would go to the lengths of letting all media know based on false allegations.
Dejanon says after her arrest, Morrow was held for hours at the FBI field office in Charlotte, then transferred to Gaston County Jail overnight. She's now out on an unsecured bond and faces federal felony assault charges. Her attorney is urging the public to know their rights, stay aware, and continue documenting interactions with law enforcement when it's safe to do so. We've reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for a response to this incident and have yet to hear back. Lisa.
Destiny, do we know anything about her time while she was at the FBI building?
All we know is that her attorney says Morrow has chronic health conditions and she was held there for hours without access to her medications. He also says the FBI is still holding her cell phone and the key to her vehicle hasn't been returned. On top of that, he says attorneys are actually being barred from visiting clients at the FBI building. He also confirmed for us Morrow is filing a lawsuit against Border Patrol for her arrest.
All right, Destiny, thank you for that. 7:32 right now. More people sharing their encounters with Border Patrol agents. We've shown you this video of the incident that happened near the Domino's on North Sharon Amity Road. The witness told us she watched a young woman be detained by about 10 agents. She shared some insight on that altercation, saying that she was nervous to confront the agents.
Of course, my heart was racing.
Yeah.
I saw the videos of the 2 U.S. citizens whose windows were smashed and arrested.
Right.
I guess I just thought, you know what, this is a risk I'm willing to take right now. The only thing that scared me was when I was filming, one of the agents asked me what my citizenship was. And I looked around and I was really the only 10 person around, and they only asked me and I said I'm a U.S. citizen.
This morning, CMS is speaking directly to families after what the district is calling a tough few weeks. Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill says the government shutdown, lost SNAP benefits, and the recent immigration enforcement in Charlotte have added fear and strain for many. In a message sent to families, Hill says every child deserves to feel safe and that CMS is here to support anyone facing hardship. The district says its mission hasn't changed, showing up for students, providing care, resources, and a safe place to learn. Now, of course, we'll continue to keep a close eye on the latest developments with Operation Charlotte's Web here on WCNC Plus. As things continue to unfold, we'll provide live coverage 24/7.
7:34 now. Today marks 3 years since a missing Cornelius girl, Madalena Kojikari, was last seen in public. This is the last known video of her. It shows the 11-year-old getting off her school bus around 5 p.m. on November 21st, 2022. It took her parents, though, 3 weeks to report her missing. For 3 years now, the Cornelius community has come together praying for her to be found.
It's been a challenge. We try to keep hope that she is somewhere alive.
We just want to find the little girl and have justice.
Both Madalena's mother, Diana Kojikari, and her stepfather, Christopher Palmer, have spent time in jail for not reporting her disappearance. Both say they don't know where she is. Police released this age progression photo, hoping someone out there recognizes Madalena and can offer some details on what happened to her. There's a $25,000 reward for any tip that leads to arrest of the person responsible for her disappearance. Right now, a Palisades high school student is accused of pulling a gun on another. CMS tells us it happened at the bus stop Thursday morning. Officers able to quickly take the student into custody. Nobody was hurt.
All right, let's talk about it. Not the prettiest start to the day. We can see a little bit more. We were talking about our view camera. They could at least see some outlines of the buildings. I can see a few more trees here. Still, this is our WCNC tower camera that we usually have a beautiful view of the Queen City. Not happening right now. As far as our visibilities are concerned, no real big improvements. We are actually worsening some of this fog around Albemarle down to a quarter-mile visibility there. Same thing in Rock Hill. It's really not until I think the 8 to 9 o'clock hour that we really start to see a big improvement here, and then by about 10 o'clock we're lifting up some of that fog, and then we just pretty much have a cloudy day going forward. 58 degrees, that's where we're at right now, so at least it's a nice mild start. 60 degrees around the Monroe area, 57 around Statesville. We have a warm front that's actively passing us. If we had sunshine today, I would be talking about near 80 degrees like what we're going to have tomorrow. But even with the cloud cover, this warm front is still going to shift in some warmer air, and then eventually we'll see a chance for more rain overnight tonight and even a thunderstorm. Highs today, first off, I want to show you the background here. This is our Dallas camera. If you go up 1,500 feet, yeah, that's a little bit of blue sky. So it is there. We just have so many layers of clouds. That's why today overall is going to be an overcast day. Best hope is that maybe it's mostly cloudy and it gets brighter during the afternoon. That is a possibility, as we already see a view like this above our heads. 73 around Charlotte, 74 Monroe, 75s, mid-70s exactly for Lancaster and around Charlotte. Let's get to our rain chances. Here are the breaks I'm talking about. That's where you see these darker spots. That's likely a break in the clouds. We could see that as early as about 10 o'clock this morning, but you see the clouds are mainly taking over for most of the day. There's an outside chance for a light shower all through the afternoon, and then there's even a chance for a thunderstorm, especially the further north that you go, close to the I-40 corridor. But watch what happens as we work our way into your Saturday morning. Widespread rain. So if you have anything left outside that you do not want getting wet, definitely move it in or under some covering for later on tonight. It's been such a dry forecast, but there could be some embedded thunderstorms in this. Nothing severe, but still a thunderstorm. That usually means some heavier downpours. The main time frame for that is pretty wide open, between about midnight and about 8 o'clock. Once we get to the afternoon, we're clearing things out. Sunshine will be upon us, and then zoom up to about 79 degrees. Thereafter, we have the upper 60s to about 70 degrees. Some cooler lows by the middle of the week. The next following rain chances late Tuesday into Wednesday, right before Turkey Day, and then an average Thanksgiving with some sunshine in the upper 50s. But the back end of the forecast, don't like this 10-day, back to the lower 50s. So enjoy the 70s while we have them. Great weekend on the way. Let's see how our morning commutes looking after that rain that we had.
Good morning. I-77 here at Westinghouse. It looks cold, but it's not cold as you step outside this morning. As we're looking at this area roadway, it looks all right. Not seeing a lot of traffic becoming congested quite yet. Do want to let you know this accident is still ongoing. It's going to be out towards I-485, where we do have one current wreck there. It's going to be east of Uptown. We're still learning the specifics on that one, but on Independence, if you're heading southbound, so outbound lanes right now could be minorly impacted. However, I'm still seeing mainly green, so that's a good sign. One lane currently blocked because of a crash. Independence at Television Place, that's exit 244. And then once we hop on down a little more south, this crash here, Ardrey Road here, we do have a little bit of slow moving traffic there at Carson Whitley Ave. Keep that in mind. And again, just to the north, we'll have more coming up on this because we have one lane that's currently blocked, University City Boulevard at Mallard Creek Church Road. Guys.
The FBI warning parents about a disturbing new online scam targeting kids and teens. Here, our agents say predators are now pushing victims beyond sextortion. 7:41 now. This morning, the FBI is asking parents to be on alert for a dangerous online scam targeting children and teenagers. Charlotte-based agents say sextortion is now taking on a new form. Predators convincing victims to physically harm themselves.
The deputy director of the FBI says the Bureau is ramping up efforts to dismantle the 764 network, an online child exploitation ring tied to more than 300 ongoing investigations across the country. As we've now learned, one of the ringleaders was arrested here in North Carolina earlier this year. WCNC Charlotte's Michelle Bowden sat down exclusively with a local special agent in charge for this alarming warning.
They say this is one of the worst but fastest growing trends. Online predators convincing victims to hurt themselves. Tonight, what you need to know to protect your kids. It is a terrifying warning from the FBI.
Yes, so we see more sadistic groups operating online, and they're looking to target vulnerable children.
Predators combing the internet looking for victims in a bullying scheme with devastating consequences.
They'll build up rapport with the victim, so the victim thinks they're a friend, and quickly that turns into trying to encourage the victim to harm themselves. Carving initials of the criminal actor into private parts, cutting. We have seen quite a few suicides in the last couple of years.
The Department of Justice arrested 2 alleged ringleaders this year, one of them here in North Carolina in the High Point area. Court documents show the predators helped train other predators to groom victims and where to find them on social media sites, gaming sites, or even through a text message on your phone. And the FBI says the bad guys specifically troll self-help sites.
If people have an eating disorder or people have emotional disorders, they may look on different websites to find other people that have something in common, right? So our criminal actors seem to target those websites.
James C. Barnacle, FBI Charlotte's junior special agent in charge, says parents need to monitor all of their kids' activities.
Pay attention to what your children do online. And it's so hard to do, right? Kids want to be private. You want to give your kid the benefit of the doubt, but you've got to talk to them about their online hygiene. Who are they talking to? Who are they communicating with?
We used to tell kids not to talk to strangers, not to take candy from someone they know. Now the same rule applies to their social media and online habits. Reporting in Charlotte, Michelle Bowden, WCNC Charlotte.
A former middle school teacher in Jacksonville, North Carolina, will have to register as a sex offender after he was caught recording female students changing clothes in his classroom. Parents, victims, and others gathered outside the Onslow County Courthouse, urging the judge to make that ruling against Stephen Barra, a former language arts teacher at New Bridge Middle School. Barra was arrested in May of 2022 for felony secret peeping after police found a hidden camera in his classroom. Former students say he directed the school's musical and made the female students change clothes in the classroom.
It was after school, so he was telling us that the bathrooms were locked up and that all of our costumes were in his classroom so that we would just change in his room. He put a sheet over the door, had a female teacher stand outside the door, had the boys change somewhere else.
Barra told the court he shouldn't be on the sex offender list, saying he loved teaching. He avoided prison with a plea deal, receiving a suspended sentence and 2.5 years probation. Victims in the courtroom said they were relieved to see justice after waiting more than 3 years.
Hyundai recalling more than 85,000 Sonatas due to a possible fuel tank leak that could result in the tank melting. The recall includes model years 2020 to 2023. The automaker says it's aware of 7 vehicle owners reporting fuel leaks. No crashes or injuries have been reported. Owners will be notified of the recall via mail. Hyundai will reimburse owners if they had any previously made any repairs due to the same issue. Right now, more than 250,000 Kia sedans being recalled over a fire risk. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says Kia K5 models may have the defect that can cause the fuel tanks to melt and leak, increasing the risk of a fire. The recall applies to 2021 and 2024 models. Drivers may notice warnings like a popping noise near their tank and a check engine light or rough performance. Kia dealerships will inspect the cars and replace the parts for free.
Well, folks, the holiday season, as you know, is here, and that means the magical toy drive is back. For the 25th year, WCNC Charlotte is teaming up with the Salvation Army to help put gifts under the tree for local families. And we need your help. So many of you often volunteer for this. All you have to do is bring any new unwrapped toy to any Charlotte area Belk location between now and December 14th. You can also just scan that QR code right there on the right side of your screen to find out about other ways to donate. Well, we all know winter is on the way, so it's cloudier weather. Got a bit today, and it's often linked to seasonal depression.
I swear I've got this.
I think I might have it just as
Never been diagnosed, but I swear this affects
Same.
me. Of course, daylight hours shrink, at least the time we're up for it, in the fall and early winter. And even when the sun shines, it often blocks the clouds, or it's blocked by the clouds, especially if you live in certain parts of the country, the Midwest and northern states. Luckily here in Carolinas, it's not quite as bad. Experts say the lack of sunlight can trigger changes in the body, but the full impact goes deeper than that.
When you go outside and your eyes absorb sunlight, it will cause a neurotransmitter called serotonin to be released. And serotonin is directly related to your mood state.
Psychologists recommend staying social and getting support to help if you have serious problems. While being social doesn't take away the clouds outside, no, it can help you forget that they're blocking the sun. I'm telling you, I know, like, when it's super cloudy outside,
Yes.
I am in a funk. Like, it's just not the same. I think years of living in Charlotte have spoiled me.
Oh, for sure.
I want sun all the time.
Absolutely.
Even if
I
it's
want
cold.
warm temperatures and I want sunshine. And what makes it worse is knowing, like this time of year, the days are getting shorter. Oh, Chris, don't. What is it, December 21st? I'm putting you on the spot. What's the day, the shortest day? The winter solstice, right?
Yep, you are absolutely correct. Yeah, the winter solstice. I forget the exact amount of hours that we have. It's less than 10 hours of daylight that we have. I feel really bad where all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't like cloudy days. And they
right?
Way to go, Chris.
Oh, no.
Way to go.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it is a sad day, S-A-D, and yeah, definitely during the wintertime. Anytime you have those sunny stretches, at least even 15 minutes out in the sun can make all the difference. We'll try to get some sunshine today, but it's not really going to be super effective. As far as that fog goes, I wanted to check in on this. Visibilities continue to drop. This is actually now turning into more of a dangerous situation the further east that you go. Right now, we're down to a goose egg over in Albemarle. Now, most of the rain has cleared. However, However, one thing about drizzle and mist, it's not being picked up by the satellite radar. Instead, it's actually below the radar beam, so you can have these almost ground clouds just above our heads that it's not showing that green. So likely you are still going to have mist and drizzle, might even need the mist settings for your windshield wipers. But the further west that you go, you are starting to see a little bit of break in the clouds. It's this umbrella, here, let me stop this, of this warm front that's going to drive temperatures up so much. But see all this jazz down here? Those are some active thunderstorms just east of the Mississippi River. That eventually can actually drag its way into the Charlotte area. So keep that in mind. Here is a look at our thunderstorm forecast. Wouldn't expect to really be doing that here in November, but it is going to be warm enough. So here's Saturday right around 5 a.m. Seeing some passing showers to be a possibility. Not everyone will hear a rumble of thunder, but there is a chance for at least a downpour. All of us in this blue area, I thought the shading was a little bit too far south yesterday, so all of us even up into the mountains will have a chance for a passing shower or storm, but I think it's more likely right around the I-85 corridor. Once you get to about 8 o'clock, I think that we're seeing the last-ditch effort of some of that rain. That means most of the afternoon should be drier and should get a lot sunnier compared to what we have today. Our rainfall chances is really isolated this evening, isolated for your Saturday morning, but then we dry out by the end of the weekend. Another chance for rain returns late Tuesday into Wednesday. That's weather. Now it's time for traffic. Majestic, what's going on?
Let's get to it. Good morning, everyone. Multiple updates to give to you this morning if you're heading out the door. Still seeing just kind of gloomy conditions heading out this morning, but at least it's not cold. It kind of looks cold, but it's not too bad if you are heading out anytime soon. There's my map. It is busy for your Friday morning commute. Still, all those pockets shaded in orange. That's where you may encounter some fog if you're traveling this morning, because not everywhere will you see fog, but at sometimes it may become very, very dense, so be mindful of that. Independence is not looking great. We are still seeing this crash here at exit 244 at Television Place. That's where we do have that stop and go traffic at this time because of an active crash. One lane continues to be blocked off because of another crash. University City Boulevard eastbound at Mallard Creek Church Road. Still seeing really right around it, not seeing significant delays there, so of course that's some good news for you, but this one is still not cleared either, and you can still see those southbound lanes being impacted with orange there. There's a crash there at exit 36 at Brookshire Boulevard. We'll have more on everything else for you coming up in just a few minutes, but there's a quick look at some of those drive times for that Friday morning commute.
Majestic, thanks. The worldwide success of Wicked is breathing new life into Oz and boosting the Oz Museum in Kansas.
Tourism leaders say the musical has revived interest in Dorothy's story and drawn younger visitors to that museum, making it popular. As in the song. Staff celebrate all things Oz, noting each generation finds its own way to retell the tale. Wicked for Good, the sequel to Wicked, hit theaters today. I've heard, I don't know this, I've heard it's gotten mixed reviews.
Right. And I think the first one was so good that the expectations for the sequel are really high. So I don't know.
I just started watching the first one and I love it. I'm like, why did I wait so long? Yeah, I had to just give it a little time. Gotta let it settle in.
Yeah. Once you get past an hour, all of a sudden you're like, no. I still don't know how it ends, so no spoilers. But I do want to say, you asked me a question.
I did.
So less than 10 was my answer. So Lisa asked, how short is the shortest day of the year as far as daylight goes? 9 hours, 46 minutes, and 55 seconds today. 10 hours and 9 minutes.
Okay,
That's kind of information I don't know that
December 21st.
All right, so it's all uphill after that.
Yeah, we're almost there.
That's why I say January, after the holidays, those are the real doldrums.
But we can do it. We gotta power through.
Yes.
With live pictures like this.
Oh, no.
That's a great start to the Friday, right?
Should have stuck with Wicked.
Maybe not. We're back after this on WCNC Plus.
Good morning, everyone. Check it out. We have a passing front that is going to try to warm us up pretty nicely. And all in all, today is going to be a cloudier day, not picture perfect whatsoever. Now, about 1,500 feet up in the atmosphere, it's great. 73 degrees is where we're going to head for this afternoon. Right about 75 around Lancaster, and then we have the lower 60s up in the high country overall. So today, not the most pretty day. Keeping those clouds around. The best optimism I have for you is maybe it's just a mostly cloudy sky, but we're still going to have a chance for a little bit of rain to pop up on and off throughout the day, more so through the overnight. So kind of keep that in mind. As far as our extended forecast goes, we now have Thanksgiving in the distance at the back end of this for our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Enjoy the warmth while we have it. Near 80 degrees tomorrow, breaking a record, and then the 50s come Thanksgiving. Majestic, take it away.
Good morning, everyone. If you're getting ready to head out for your Friday morning commute, it's not the most beautiful start to the day, but at least it's not chilly. You can see this is I-77 there. Westinghouse looking all right, but we do still have a handful of ongoing problems, including this one here on Independence. You can see all of that red. It is going to mean stop-and-go traffic at Television Place, but we have now clear conditions out towards 485.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. on a Friday morning here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington.
This morning we are working to pin down what's next for Border Patrol here in Charlotte. After 6 days of operations, we're getting some conflicting information about whether or not the raids are over.
WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane joins us live this morning. He's along Albemarle Road in East Charlotte. Now, Richard, we know that some leaders are saying the time is up for those federal agents. Others say they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Lisa. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ben. Good Friday morning to all you on the Plus watching us. Basically, we can tell you, and as far as people in this community here in East Charlotte, a lot of them say they just don't know what to do. We just were standing out in front of one business early this morning. It actually opened up. It says it's ready to have its customers come back in. Other places, they're just not sure yet. Now, as we take a look at video, that's because of these conflicting reports continue to swirl about the status of that immigration enforcement. Local authorities, including the sheriff, announced that the federal operation dubbed Charlotte's Web had ended. The sheriff also says that his office was informed that the mission was over and that no more agents from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, I should say, would be operating in the area. But the Department of Homeland Security says not so fast. It says the operation is not over and it's not ending anytime soon. Now, since it started just days ago, the enforcement campaign has led to approximately 370 arrests here in the Charlotte region, but local officials say the uncertainty is causing anxiousness among community members, especially immigrant families, and that schools as well as businesses are feeling the ripple effects.
This is not done. They may have left Charlotte, they still in North Carolina. If they're not in North Carolina, they still in our country. We cannot be this type of society. What makes us different than any country that we run away from?
Yeah, and whether it has ended, whether it is going on, has a lot of folks here in this particular part of Charlotte, and I'm sure others as well, just feeling sort of in limbo and not knowing what to do. Of course, we'll be monitoring other businesses in the area to see if they open and when they open, as well as if students start returning to class. Of course, as we get all that information, we'll give it to you in our app. Right there in your hand. We're right here in East Charlotte. This is Richard Devane. We'll send it back to you.
Richard, thank you. A man accused of colliding into vehicles during a Border Patrol operation is now out on bond. Documents say Miguel Angel Garcia Martinez used a white Dodge Sprinter van to hit those vehicles during an operation in University City. Protesters joined his family in Uptown yesterday ahead of his release, urging that the allegations are false and that he is an American citizen who is simply following the law.
In every video that we have, you can see him maneuvering around officers, keeping his distance from officers.
His family shared that the support they've received this week is a small sense of relief amid what's been a chaotic week. Well, later this morning, more walkouts are expected at schools across CMS protesting this week's Border Patrol operations. Take a look. Independence, Myers Park, Sun Valley, and West Meck all have walkouts planned for today. Yesterday, we spoke with students at South Meck during their walkout. They said the impact on their own campus cannot be ignored.
We have a very large immigrant population here at South Mecklenburg High School. We had a lot of classrooms. My sister, she told me there was a classroom full of 30 students around there, and yesterday there was around 5 kids who showed up. So there was a very dramatic difference.
District-wide, thousands of students have been missing class each day. According to the latest numbers from CMS, more than 83,000 absences were recorded between Monday through Wednesday.
And our coverage of Border Patrol's Operation Charlotte's Web continues. We'll keep a close eye on the latest developments here on WCNC+. We'll have live coverage 24/7. After more than 3 decades in uniform, CMPD Police Chief Johnny Jennings will retire at the start of the new year, closing out a 33-year career in Charlotte. Over the course of his career, Jennings has been through some of the Queen City's biggest public safety challenges, from protests and policy reform to tackling rising violent crime. He says the decision to retire wasn't sudden.
Nothing was more challenging than April 29th of 2024, when we lost 4 brave officers that were out doing their job. But I couldn't be more proud of our agency and the response. We continued to keep our community safe during the toughest time in law enforcement history in North Carolina.
Despite the difficult times through his career, Jennings says he wants his legacy to be about more than conflict, pointing to his push for community collaboration, his emphasis on reducing crime, and his care for officer morale. His retirement takes effect January 1st of next year.
The man accused of killing a teenager will stay behind bars. Jacoby Meeks was denied bond. Back in May, police say he and another person were chasing 17-year-old Navia Carter along North Graham Street. They shot into her car, killing her. Navia's family say despite the progress, the pain still remains.
It's been the hardest 5.5 months that I've had to deal with this. Even though an arrest has been made, it still doesn't bring my daughter back.
Prosecutors say the investigation is ongoing. They're still working to identify additional shooters and witnesses.
8:06 now. With Thanksgiving around the corner, the North Carolina Fire Marshal is urging families to stay safe in the kitchen. Data shows there are 3 times as many cooking fires on Thanksgiving than on an average day of the year. To avoid accidents, the state fire marshal suggests staying in the kitchen while frying, grilling, or broiling your dinner. Keep flammable items away from stovetops, and make sure you turn those pot handles inward to prevent spills or burns. And never use a turkey fryer in enclosed spaces, including your garage Also, make sure you have a lid nearby to smother small grease fires. Never use water on them. All right, Chris joins us back now with another check on our forecast for this Friday and the weekend.
And we can almost see a little bit more trees down here. Still no skyscrapers. WCNC tower camera, usually one of our best cameras at seeing what the Queen City's doing each and every morning. But instead, we have some really dense fog across the area. We are down to a 0 in Statesville, 0 in Albemarle, still a quarter mile. It's now almost been close to 3 hours. You've been at a quarter-mile visibility in parts of York County, and it's drivable around Charlotte, but just watch that there will be some fluctuations in that, even down below a mile for Mecklenburg County as well. Current temperatures not warming up too much right away. We do have an active warm front that'll push through, and once we thin out the clouds and they lift from the ground, no longer fog status, that's where we'll start to warm up significantly. That front is pushing its way further off towards the north and east. This is a pretty thick band of clouds, but we will have a weakening in certain levels, allowing for it to get a little bit brighter later on today, maybe even some spots of blue, because it does exist. One of the best tools that we have is our Dallas camera. That's about 1,500 feet up in the atmosphere. You are seeing some of those blues up above. Still a lot of upper level clouds as well. So once we get some holes in this coverage down here, that's about 1,000 feet, that's where you could have a brighter sky, maybe a spot of blue, but all in all, lower expectations for the sunshine today. I think today is mainly going to be a cloudy day with a hope to be partly sunny at times. 69 degrees around Hickory, Statesville, Salisbury, lower to the mid 70s throughout. As far as our rain chances go, we see them move back in later on today. There's the slightest chance for rain this afternoon. I think it's more so going to be maybe a darker cloud that looks like it's going to rain, but hey, it's still going to be a possibility. More so along the I-40 corridor, seeing a chance for scattered showers and dare I even say a thunderstorm. But the bulk of the rain arrives tomorrow morning. That's where we're expecting widespread pockets of heavy rain and a lot of areas of light to moderate rain at least. Many of us will be sleeping by the time this rolls through. It's anywhere during an 8-hour period from about midnight to 8 that we're going to see this pass by. Slight chance for a last-ditch shower by about the late morning to the early afternoon. We break these clouds open for a little bit of sunshine for the middle of the day. It's also going to be a record day. 76 is the record for that day in climatology. Well, we are going to smash that by 3 degrees at least. So enjoy one more record-breaking day. Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast has temperatures on the down low, down into the upper 50s come Turkey Day. Only the lower 50s for Black Friday and heading into the last weekend of November. Yikes. Let's get over to Majestic. What's going on for your morning commute?
It's looking okay. We now have more accidents popping up, though. It's 8:09 if you are gearing up to head out the door. Still seeing a lot of fog in and around Charlotte. You can also see a handful of ongoing wrecks. Do want to let you know that Independence crash that I've been talking about now for almost an hour is cleared. You can still see those backups are there, though, mainly inbound lanes if you're taking Independence towards Charlotte. One lane is currently blocked because of a crash. This is on Moorhead Street at Freedom Drive. That's where we do have impacts coming in from all directions. And then not too far away from that is another crash still on Moorhead Street at Moorhead Ridge Drive. You can see some yellow, meaning that those impacts are at a medium level right now. Once we're heading a little bit more north, this crash here, it's on I-85 northbound at exit 36 to get on Brookshire Boulevard. We'll have more on this one and everything else I'm looking at coming up here soon. Guys.
All right, Majestic, thanks. 8:10 right now here on WCNC Plus. A high-stakes battle over North Carolina's new congressional map is now in the hands of a 3-panel judge. Why opponents warn the ruling may silence marginalized voices.
The time is now 8:12. A three-judge panel in North Carolina heard a challenge to the redrawn congressional map. The effort to redraw came at the request of President Trump in hopes of gaining another seat in Congress. As Bethany Cates reports, opponents of the map filed suit, saying it's another attempt to suppress the voting power of marginalized communities.
The timing is pretty important, isn't it? Because there's a lot of people out there trying to decide whether to file, whether to put their hat in the ring and decide to run, and this would have an effect.
North Carolina's new congressional map is back in federal court after groups filed a federal lawsuit stating the new maps dilute the voices of the affected districts.
This is the swift urgency of now that we must continue to fight for the rights of people to be represented by people who want to represent them.
In court Wednesday, Senator Ralph Hise took the stand stating that racial data was not used to redraw the maps and no decisions were made upon race. Wake Forest political science professor John Dinan weighs in on why Republican legislators were looking to make this decision.
If legislators said, why did you draw the maps this way? And you said, we did this to gain an advantage for our party. The Supreme Court says, well, we're not going to stand in the way of that.
But Dinan says federal judges step in when another group believes the decision was based upon race and says that notion leaves the judges to decide next steps for the state's maps.
That challengers have to prove is that these maps were drawn with an intent to dilute the power of racial minority groups.
It's important to note the timing of this federal lawsuit is critical, with North Carolina's candidate filing period beginning on December 1st, less than 2 weeks from now.
For people in the eastern part of the state, this would make a difference as to what district you would file in and even whether you would file for office.
And while the defense lawyer states racial data was blocked out of the mapping software, civil rights and voting groups still want to see change reflected on the state's congressional map.
What the challengers are asking the federal court to do is stop any further use of these maps. Just use the old maps. Do not allow the new maps to take effect.
Bethany Cates with that report. The U.S. Labor Department's delayed September jobs report is out. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the U.S. economy added about 119,000 jobs that month. That was better than expected. Average hourly earnings increased 0.2% for the month and a 3.8% increase from a year ago. However, the report also shows that unemployment ticked up to 4.4%. That's the highest it's been since October of 2021.
Hundreds of U.S. airport workers are getting a bonus just in time for the holidays following the historic government shutdown. More than 750 air traffic controllers and technicians will get a $10,000 bonus thanks to the FAA and the U.S. Department of Transportation. The money will be given to employees that never missed a single day of work during the shutdown. The recognition follows President Donald Trump's directive to honor air traffic personnel. Recipients will be notified during Thanksgiving week and will be receiving payment in early December. The world's most popular chatbot moving into classrooms with a new version for educators. OpenAI is offering ChatGPT for teachers, free to verified K-12 teachers through June of 2027. After that, they say they're going to keep pricing as affordable as possible. Now, this new tool gives teachers a secure workspace to adapt lessons, save prep time, and collaborate with peers. OpenAI says it will enhance what many teachers already use, noting 3 in 5 teachers already use AI tools.
The holiday season is here. That means the magical toy drive is back. For the 25th year, we here at WCNC Charlotte are teaming up with the Salvation Army to help put gifts under the tree for local families. And you can help. In fact, we need your help. All you have to do is bring any new unwrapped toy to any Charlotte area Belk location between now and Sunday, December 14th. You can also just scan that QR code you see on the right side of your screen to find out about other ways to donate. And as we head to break, here is an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey, our team is always testing products. We only bring you the best, and this one is about your security, so you're going to want to listen up. The product is this. It's called Sight Bulb, and it's called that for good reason. It plugs into any light fixture, See that right there? Like a light bulb, and you have an instant security camera. There's a break-in in the US every 26 seconds. Lights are great, but a security camera catches the bad guys in the act. Look at this video. You just plug it in outside to any fixture. You have an instant security camera with night vision, 360-degree views, motion sensing. It even has a built-in microphone, so you can listen to what's going on in your house when you're not there, and also talk if the bad guys are in there, or if you just want to kind of watch your dog just hanging out, right? So I have one plugged in right over here as well, just to show you how this works. There's an SD card right in it, so it's all made in the USA, no things going up to the cloud. It's all stored right here. And come on in for a second, Bob. I want to show you. It connects to your app, so you can actually watch it anywhere. My cameraman Bob is here. Can you? That's what you see right on the app. Say hi, Bob. There you go. There's your hands. So this retails for $49.99 to $59.99, but we have a great deal for you today. 25% off. Think about the cost of home security. And by the way, no professional needed, no wiring. You screw this in and you're done. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen right now or go to shoptvdeals.com.
All right, feast your eyes on this.
Feast?
Feast your eyes on this 1 week before Thanksgiving. How about this? If you're really into fog and low-level clouds and nasty weather, today, folks, today is your day, and Chris is here with the good news.
Excellent. Do you want a day with absolutely no motivation, no sunshine whatsoever? What do I have a day for you? Well, today we'll get a little bit brighter. It's not going to look like this all day long, but 73 degrees. It is not an appetizing day, or sarcastically it is. But as we work through the afternoon, I think that cloud cover will get a little bit thinner. There is a chance that we have a break here and there, but just anticipate overall a cloudier day across the board. A slight chance for a shower to sneak back in. Temperatures mainly in the upper 60s to lower 70s during the afternoon. I want to jump ahead by about a week to Thanksgiving Day. On average, and this is dating back to the 1930s, we typically average about 59 degrees for Thanksgiving, which can be a string of days to end the month. Last year we were 68 degrees. The year before that, pretty much on par to where we're going to be this year in the upper 50s. But going forward, there's also going to be a chance for rain leading up to the holiday. But one thing that's changed for the long range is we don't have a lot of rain to follow Thanksgiving. But for your Friday, Black Friday, temperatures significantly cooler in the lower 50s, and then the following mornings likely starting around that freezing point. At least the afternoons are looking okay. But I want to open up our travel circle. If you have any travel that you're doing or driving over the coming days, say for Thanksgiving holiday, one of the busiest travel days is actually Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And Tuesday is the only problem-filled one that we have here within 300 miles of Charlotte. So that includes all of the Carolinas into Georgia, Tennessee. I think the heaviest rain is really during your Tuesday afternoon over in Tennessee and the northern parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and North Georgia. That'll continue to push its way off towards the east during your Tuesday evening into Wednesday afternoon. Then we have lingering clouds and then eventually clearing out for your Thanksgiving. Beyond that, check it out. Look in the upper right. You see the time move, but not a lot is happening. Instead, some thicker clouds down towards the south, rain staying off the shoreline. So far, still into the distant future, things are trending in a good direction. For the time being, we're on the warmer side. Highs near 80 degrees for tomorrow. Enjoy it. That's the warmest day of the week by far, and likely the warmest we're going to have for quite some time. All right, traffic time. What's going on, Majestic?
Good morning, everyone. We're heading into our Friday with a view like this. This is I-77 at Tyvola, where conditions seem to be all right if you are getting ready to head out the door. No big problems there, just not the most beautiful start to our day. There's my map. We have a handful of ongoing wrecks. Do want to let you know about this one. It is one of our newer ones out towards Mount Holly. Keep this in mind. I'm still seeing mainly green around it, so not seeing significant delays. Independence inbound right now, we do have some stop and go traffic. There was an accident earlier this morning that has since been cleared only about 10 minutes ago. So those delays are still there a little bit, but everything is cleared as far as that actual crash goes. One lane continues to be blocked right here on Moorhead Street and Freedom Drive. And then very close by was another crash. They've already cleared that, so that's some good news there. And then once we're heading to the north, you can see northbound lanes on I-85. There is a crash there at exit 36, but I'm not seeing significant delays with it.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. It's Friday, time to find out what is going on in the area this weekend. One is the Yapye Iswa. That is going on in Rock Hill in South Carolina. Yapye Iswa, which means the celebration of the Catawba Nation. It's free, happens at the Catawba Cultural Center. That's on Tom Stephen Road in Rock Hill. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That big celebration open to everyone. Something to see. A lot going on. There'll be traditional dances, craft vendors, kids activities, drumming, demonstrations, and a lot more. Lots of food too. Day of the People. For more information, Catawba Nation Facebook has it all, so don't miss it. It's happening this weekend. Yapye Iswa Festival in Rock Hill. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but make sure that you keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Hello there, meteorologist Chris Mulcahy. Good to see you. Well, check it out. We have a head in the clouds over here in Charlotte. Still not a pretty sight over in Monroe. Same thing goes with some patchy dense fog up in Boone. A little bit of rain there as well. Today's highs either side of 70 degrees. So similar highs to yesterday. And don't expect a lot of sunshine today. We could have some bright spots, but those overcast skies want to hold for most of the day. And our temperatures at least are on the milder side. As far as tomorrow morning goes, it's really overnight into tomorrow morning. We'll have a chance for some passing thunderstorms. Many of us might sleep through these, and then we start to clear things out. After that, allowing for sunshine and a big warm up, close to 80 degrees on Saturday. That's going to be a record day. Then we start to cool down slightly Sunday through Wednesday. By Thanksgiving, back to the upper 50s. What's going on this morning? Majestic knows in the traffic world.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Let's get to it. This is I-77 here around exit 5 Tyvola. You can see cars are moving just fine. Not seeing any big problems there if you're heading out the door anytime soon. Our drive times are just about where they should be for this time of the day. From Salisbury to Charlotte, just under 50 minutes. My map right here still has a handful of ongoing wrecks. This is one of our newer ones. It's right here on Mount Holly Huntersville Road at Overlook Mountain Drive. Be careful out there.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8:30 on this Friday. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. This morning, new video of an arrest by federal immigration agents. The incident happened Sunday morning. 2 people arrested. One of them, 44-year-old Heather Murrow, who was charged later with felony assault and for resisting or impeding a federal officer.
Now her lawyer is challenging those charges. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards joins us in the studio this morning to break down that arrest and what both sides are saying. Destiny.
Yeah, we know Morrow's defense attorney says federal officials have mischaracterized her arrest, and he argues the new video directly contradicts the government's account. Morrow was one of 2 people arrested Sunday outside a Homeland Security office in Charlotte as immigration operations intensified across the region. Federal officials claim she grabbed a Border Patrol agent's shoulders and tried to jump on his back. But her attorney, Javier Dejanon, says this new bystander video undercuts that, arguing Morrow never left the ground or put her hands on any officer before she was taken down.
It's clear that Ms. Morrow did not put her hands on the agent's shoulders, did not even leave the ground, and it was a matter of milliseconds before CBP agents tackled her very, very quickly. So we are concerned that even the federal government would go to the lengths of letting all media know based on false allegations.
Dejanon says after her arrest, Morrow was held for hours at the FBI field office in Charlotte, then transferred to Gaston County Jail overnight. She's now out on an unsecured bond and faces federal felony assault charges. Her attorney is urging the public to know their rights, stay aware, and continue documenting interactions with law enforcement when it's safe to do so. We've reached out to the Department of Homeland Security for a response to this incident and have yet to hear back. Lisa.
And Destiny, what do we know exactly about her time while she was at the FBI building?
Well, her attorney says Morrow, who has a chronic health condition or several chronic health conditions, was held there for hours without access to her medications. He also says the FBI is still holding her cell phone and the key to her vehicle hasn't been returned. On top of that, he says attorneys are being barred from visiting clients when they're at the FBI building. He also confirmed Morrow is filing a lawsuit against Border Patrol for her arrest.
All right, thanks, Destiny.
More folks sharing their encounters with Border Patrol agents. We showed you this video of an incident that happened near the Domino's on North Sharon Amity. The witness told us she watched a young woman be detained by about 10 masked agents. She shared some of her insights of that altercation right here on WCNC Plus, saying that she was nervous to confront them.
Of course, my heart was racing.
Yeah.
You know, I saw the videos of the 2 U.S. citizens whose windows were smashed and arrested.
Right.
I guess I just thought, you know what, this is a risk I'm willing to take right now. The only thing that scared me was when I was filming, one of the agents asked me what my citizenship was. Mm-hmm. And I looked around and I was really the only 10 person around, and they only asked me and I said I'm a U.S. citizen.
This morning, CMS is speaking directly to families after what the district is calling a tough few weeks. Superintendent Dr. Crystal Hill says the government shutdown, lost SNAP benefits, and recent immigration enforcement in Charlotte have added fear and strain for many. In a message to families, Dr. Hill says every child deserves to feel safe, and CMS is here to support anyone facing hardship. The district says its mission hasn't changed, showing up for students, providing care, resources, and a safe place to learn. We will continue to keep a close eye on the latest developments with Operation Charlotte's Web here on WCNC Plus. As things unfold, we will provide live coverage 24/7.
It is a foggy start to the day. Check this out. We can see a little bit better, at least in Monroe. So there's a little bit of clearing for the first time in 3 hours. Rock Hill, your visibilities are back to a mile. It's been around a quarter mile, which has been rough. And we have, I think, the most problematic and dangerous spots around Statesville, Albemarle, Wadesboro, Rockingham, where some of that visibility is dropping down to about that quarter mile or so. So just kind of keep that in mind. It is not going to be the most delightful start to the day, and it is just going to continue to stay super foggy. Now, we're trying to get rid of these low clouds out of the Western Carolina in our area with on and off visibilities to about a quarter mile or below. It's expected that by about 10 o'clock that we are going to see a little bit of an improvement, but it's just going to be a patient game trying to get there. Already seeing some improvements. Not much through this camera. You can see the tower a little bit better, I guess. It's 59 degrees. Temperatures haven't moved too much just because we're locked in place with this cloud cover. 57s for Statesville, Morganton, Salisbury, and 55 in Boone. You know that the clouds are really taking over when there's not a big difference between Charlotte and the Boone area. Monroe, Chirac, you guys are the winners. 60 and 61 right now. However, there is some hope because above our heads, I see a little bit of blue sky, but those clouds are so thick below 1,500 feet that we're not going to see the sunshine for a majority of the day. Now, this morning, cloudy. This afternoon, you might have a chance that this cloud cover right down here could have a few breaks. High temperatures in the lower to the mid 70s, right in the upper 60s around the I-40 corridor. We are already going to see a warm up despite the lack of sunshine because of this. That warm front is going to continue to push its way through, keeping things fairly cloudy. I want to show you where we've been and where we're going, and I'm going to have a point of this. Check it out. We had 48 degrees. That was the previous Tuesday. We warmed up to 79 degrees, not once, but twice. Those are temperatures that are more indicative of September 28th. And then where we're going after this eventually is going to be really almost the same destination. But what's interesting is we're going to have another shot at 79 degrees. First off, we've never during the month of November hit 79 3 times. Now, if I'm just talking about the records in general, it's going to be a record-breaking Saturday. 76 degrees is the record, 79. I think that's an easy smash. What I think is really interesting is factoring in 78 plus, so really the extreme upper 70s. The most we've ever seen is back in 1942. We did it 4 times. Already we've had 2 in the upper 70s, and then tomorrow looks to be the 3rd. So this is a very rare second half end to November. Enjoy it. Let me get to our 7-day forecast real quick, show you the changes. We can see that big drop off in temperatures hovering around 70 degrees after this weekend, and then Turkey Day averages in the upper 50s. We'll be back there with some sunshine, much cooler after that. Okay, there it is. It's not a pretty start. It's a damp start. Let's see how it's affecting traffic.
All right, let's get to a good morning, everyone. We're still seeing all right conditions along I-77 and I-85. No major slowdowns. This is what we have right now when we're looking at some of those drive times. So if you're coming in from Belmont into Charlotte, it's going to take you around 25 minutes. If you're making that commute in from Matthews to Charlotte, around 35 if you're taking Independence, because we do have some slowdowns. Here's my map here. It is definitely busy for your Friday morning commute. This is one of our newer crashes here. It's a crash at Mount Holly Huntersville Road at Overlook Mountain Drive. I'm still seeing a lot of green around it, so not too majorly concerned with that one. But this is ongoing still. We had a crash on Independence that got cleared, but now it seems like we have a stalled vehicle. Those are those inbound lanes that'll be impacted, so that's why it's going to take you a little longer. If you're coming in from Matthews, you may consider taking Monroe or Central instead if you are heading towards Charlotte. Guys.
All right, Majestic, thanks for that. 8:38 right now on WCNC Plus. More than 100 Charlotte artists and groups getting a surprise boost from the city. One recipient reveals how this funding could change everything.
A bright 11-year-old with an infectious smile who disappeared after getting off her school bus in Cornelius in 2022.
From November the 22nd to December the 15th, 23 days went by where he didn't know the location of Madalena Coach Car.
Conflicting stories from her mother and stepfather, a boarded-up bedroom, fires in the backyard of her home, secret recordings, and trips out of state.
Bottom line is she's a suspect in the disappearance of her own daughter.
Everyone's still asking, where is Madalena?
Our goal is to find Madalena, and we're not going to stop until we do.
The Search for Madalena, streaming on WCNC Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
8:41 right now. The city of Charlotte awarding grants to more than 100 local artists and organizations. We spoke with one recipient about how this funding will really make a difference. WCNC Charlotte anchor Jane Monreal takes a closer look.
It's exciting to know that a piece of the city in which you live has enough faith or has enough confidence in you to do the thing to create to make the city better. That is something I do not take lightly. It sparks a sense of duty. And now I am excited to be a good steward of these funds to extend back to community.
Winston Robinson founded Applesauce Group in 2020 out of a desire to find ways to help people connect in a time where isolation was top of mind. Now the nonprofit is known for events like the Great West Side Fish Fry and a vibe called Fresh. Applesauce Group was one of 106 artists and organizations selected this month for a Creative Growth Grant.
Now we can do the thing to connect the people, to show the creatives of this community. They can showcase their talents to the people who live here, who might be new here, who need that for their optimized lived experience in Charlotte.
The nonprofit, Charlotte is Creative, was selected to help administer the grants this year. Co-founder and Chief Creative Officer Tim Miner said they worked with the city to make sure grassroots artists and organizations had the resources to apply.
They will help create a community in Charlotte, whether you're a creative or just a citizen, that draws people in, excites them, makes them proud to live here, and creates a legacy we feel will continue to go on.
Miner said the funding going towards artists and organizations will often come right back to the city.
In the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area, what this means is we get a lift not only in the vibrancy of our community, quality of life, but also by arming creatives and creative nonprofits with what they need to be successful.
When you travel, you don't say, oh man, I can't wait to go check out the city's banking center. No, they're coming to see us. The creatives, the things we do, the things we make, the things we produce.
We have a full list of the Creative Growth Grants recipients. Just look for this story on the WCNC Charlotte mobile app. Jane Monreal, WCNC Charlotte.
So many creatives in our town. A groundbreaking Duke Health project is testing drones to deliver life-saving devices during emergencies. The real-world trial is underway in Forsyth County, where drones are dispatched alongside EMS to drop AEDs within minutes of a 911 call.
If a patient can be shocked within 2 to 5 minutes, we could see survival of 50 to 70%. The real focus is on the bystander and equipping them to use this device when it arrives by drone.
The goal is to roll out the program in other parts of the state, particularly in rural areas. The Duke Health team is also launching a second test site in Virginia, and say exactly where this could grow will depend on the local or the state funding. All right, let's talk about cheese now. Have you ever wondered how the world's best cheese is chosen?
I have not, but it's a fair question. It's a fair question.
Stay tuned. It all comes down to the World Cheese Awards. It's one of the biggest events of the year for dairy lovers. This year's competition featured more than 5,200 cheeses from 46 countries, but only one could be the grand winner.
Wow. CNN's Barry Neal went behind the scenes in Switzerland to find out how the judges taste their way to the top.
In Bern, the capital of Switzerland, at the World Cheese Awards. Behind me are more than 5,000 cheeses from 46 countries. They are vying for the title of the world's best cheese 2025.
The World Cheese Awards is one of the biggest events of the year for dairy producers, gathering record numbers of cheeses in one giant, aroma-filled venue. It was started in 1988 as a way to celebrate the international cheese scene, and it's now held in a different country each year. Cheesemakers, experts and aficionados all gather to share knowledge and taste as many cheeses as possible.
You know if a cheese is very good, if you want another piece.
What does it mean to win?
Everything. Having the best cheese in the world, you must be pretty good at what you do.
To find a winner, small groups of judges each taste 40 different cheeses. Their favourites go through 2 more rounds of selection before a champion is crowned.
Does your mouth get really tired of eating cheese?
We do lots of water. Make sure our palates are fresh with apples as well. And we try and work our way in order, mild to more strength.
The aromas, they're assaulting you from every direction. And for somebody who loves cheeses like me, this is really frustrating. Only the judges can taste them. It's just great just to smell them and just be among all these special different cheeses. Oh no, don't tempt me. Oh no.
So we look at the cheese, we look at the rind, we look to see whether the rind is consistent, and then we check the body and texture. We bend it until we see whether it breaks or not. Then we smell it and see what the aromas are like and if it's expressive. I'm looking for personality in cheeses. And I'm still eating cheese and you're still not.
It's frustrating. I've seen some incredible cheeses around here. There's goat cheeses, cow cheeses, camel cheeses, blue cheeses, purple cheeses, green cheeses, cheeses in jars. I've seen cheeses that will haunt me for the rest of my days. There's blue spores everywhere.
By the time we're done here, we will not want to see cheese for weeks.
So we're at a crucial stage in the competition now. Each of the 110 judging tables has chosen their Super Gold winner. We're not allowed in there, it's all hush hush. So we've just got to wait on the sidelines to find out the news. Is it a really competitive world?
You know, everyone wants to win. I think we're human beings, right? But I think everyone wants to make artisan cheese better. I think that's more important to us.
We're just waiting to find out who is the big winner.
Die Bäckerei Vodafultigen Gruyère ARP Special from Switzerland!
Congratulations, World Cheese Champion 2025!
How does it feel to win?
It's very overwhelming.
I couldn't even tell you what they said, who won, but it
Some
was
kind of Gruyere.
Yeah, Gruyere is what I thought I heard. Yeah. Okay, down the line, your favorite cheese.
Oh, I don't know, you guys. I don't have a favorite. I just kind of dabble in it all.
That's nice.
What about you?
You don't discriminate in your
Okay,
cheeses.
thank you. What is yours?
I don't know. I think there was a time back several years ago where this is not a product placement, but Trader Joe's had this really super creamy. That was like a creamy blue cheese that was very pungent and very strong, but like you smear it on a cracker and it was outstanding.
Like brie consistency?
Yeah, like brie consistency, but you know, cold and like blue cheesy, and it was so good.
Like that.
It was so good.
So again, I don't want to name brands, but there's like, I think it's Bellatano or something. It's like a great cheese, and it has the wine wrapped kind of around it, so you can taste that when you.
Yes.
Wow. So good.
Yes.
Smoked Gouda.
Smoked Gouda is fantastic.
On it.
Okay.
Smoked cheese is just wow.
Yeah.
Now they're expensive, so I don't have it a lot. But when I do, I feel fancy. Pinkies up.
But during Christmas, there's always the cheese platters at the party, so you can kind of try things out.
Yep.
Good talk.
All right. Yeah, good talk. All right. The holiday season is here. That means the magical toy drive is back. This is also a good talk because this is 25 years, you guys. 25 years. WCNC Charlotte teaming up with the Salvation Army to make sure that there are gifts under the tree for local families. And we need your help. We know a lot of you donate to this cause every year. We hope that you will continue doing that. Bring any new unwrapped toy to any Charlotte area Belk between now and December 14th. You can also just scan that QR code on your screen to find out about other ways to donate.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so let's get right to it. We actually had a question by Lisa earlier that I'm going to answer in a little more detail. Our sunrise time at 7:05 and sunset time is at 5:14. We obviously know that the days continue to get shorter, and I'm talking about periods of daylight. Today, we have 10 hours, 9 minutes, and 27 seconds of daylight. So, of course, that's the period from when the sun rises to when it sets. So Lisa had asked earlier here on WCNC Plus that how long is the shortest day of the year? And that's actually December 21st. That is the winter solstice. That's 9 hours, 46 minutes, and 55 seconds. For today, compared to tomorrow, we will lose 1 minute and 23 seconds per day over the weekend, and then it gets shorter, less and less daylight loss, of course, as we get to this point. But then, also, this is where a lot of these weather IQs come from. Our director, Rusty, also brought up, hey, what's the difference between the winter and the summer solstice? Well, this is pretty staggering. This is probably just making you sad. I'm not trying to do that. December 21st to June 21st, so the distance of a half a year. 4 hours and 45 minutes of daylight is the difference between the shortest to the longest day of the year. And of course, this is all Charlotte-centric data. It's just letting you know. Here's a 10-10-10 forecast. Temperature spiking to 79 degrees for the third time in a week. And then after that, temperatures will be trending on the way down, eventually back down into the 50s, which, by the way, we're almost done with November. The 50s become the norm, so that's not unusual. What's unusual is what's happening right now. Our lows very mild by tomorrow. Then we're fluctuating all across the 40s and 50s, eventually back down to freezing by the last weekend of November. And then for our rainfall chances, we have one last shot overnight tonight into tomorrow, and then another one that develops Tuesday, Wednesday, heading into Thanksgiving. And then after that, another spike by the last day of the month, Sunday. Let's get over to Majestic. What's going on, my friend?
Well, let's talk about a few of our newer accidents for you this morning, because we've had a handful. Thankfully, none of them have been really significant on I-77, I-85, but nonetheless, they are still wrecks. We still do have some of that patchy to even pockets of dense fog out there, so be mindful for your morning commute. This is going to be a slowdown for you. Independence inbound right before Windover Road. There is a stalled vehicle, so that's causing some congestion there, more than we typically would have. And then not too far away, we have a crash here on 7th Street in Cameron Ave. You can see that orange starting to develop, meaning that cars are moving just a little slowly. Another here, this is right by Uptown. It's on Trade Street and Sycamore Street. Minimal impact, seeing mainly green right now. However, that is one of our newer wrecks this morning. And then if you're coming in from York County, good morning to everyone in South Carolina. Not seeing any problems at this time.
Majestic, thanks so much. 8:55. Now we're going to take a quick break, but make sure that you keep it right here streaming on WCNC Plus. Coming up at the top of the hour, Julie Kay is in our live Impact News. She's going to be having the latest on Operation Charlotte's Web. We're still getting some kind of conflicting reports. If it's over, if it's still going on, we'll be following that throughout the day. Make sure you keep it right here on WCNC Plus.
Good morning, everybody. Not the best of the mornings that I've ever really shown you, but we're looking at some low-level clouds, and things are starting to improve slightly, even though this camera doesn't really do it justice. We're looking at temperatures that still are warming up to either side of 70 degrees, despite the lack of sunshine. Overall, it's going to be an overcast day, but we'll have some bright spots from time to time. We have a chance for rain later this evening and overnight. Even could start off with a thunderstorm for your Saturday, but look at that. It looks to be a record-breaking high for your Saturday. Mild after that, and then back to the norm, the upper 50s where we should be for Turkey Day. Colder after that. Majestic, take it away.
Good Friday morning, everyone. Want to give you some updates out on those roads. It's been rather quiet for us this morning, so hopefully we can keep it that way for a little while longer. We're looking at I-77 right here, coming in from York County, where roads are looking just fine. Remember, we do still have pockets of dense fog across the area, so just be mindful that you may encounter that. Independence, we have some slowdowns this morning because of a stalled vehicle right there before Windover Road, so kind of slow-moving traffic if you're heading inbound. And then not too far from it is a crash on 7th Street and Cameron Ave. Those are two big things this morning. Take it easy for your Friday commute and have a good weekend.
Excuse me.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Morrow's defense attorney says federal officials have mischaracterized her arrest, and he argues the new video directly contradicts the government's account. Morrow was one of 2 people arrested Sunday outside a Homeland Security office in Charlotte as immigration operations intensified.